Update News, selected Delaware's best newscast by the Delaware Press Association. The city sponsors a recycle project, a major traffic project is completed, and the governor signs new bills into law. All of that and more as Update News starts now. A two-year project to elevate South Market Street has been completed. The $4.4 million Market Street Safety Improvement Project raised portions of the road as much as 3.5 feet in the area below the Christina River. Prior to the construction, businesses in and around the Christina Crossing Shopping Center and motorists on Route 13 were severely impacted from flooding, even during minor rainfalls. Underground utility lines, landscaping and lighting, new sidewalks, and a new bus stop were also part of the project, which was completed 10 days early and on budget. According to the Delaware Department of Transportation, funding for the project came from stimulus funds released in 2009. Renovation of the Wilmington Housing Authority's Kennedy Apartments has been completed. The 24 three-bedroom units are ready to accept families that are preparing for home ownership. The $1.8 million project was funded with over $1 million in federal housing and urban development grants, as well as $250,000 in safety upgrades paid for by the city. The complex once consisted of two buildings that had become a strain on the neighborhood.
The community actually was the impetus in getting us to look at it differently, but also when the city completed the Presswick right next door, we decided to try to mirror some of the stuff they had done there. But the critical thing about this building was to make sure it was manned 24 hours a day. It now will feature a central monitoring system manned 24 hours a day, but it also is linked to the Crestview building across the street and Evans House building. They all fall under one management piece. Our assistant manager actually lives in the Presswick, and we expect this to be a building that folks can move into, pursue home ownership, and hopefully move on to home ownership from this building.
Sitting on the corner of 28th and Tatnall Streets, the Kennedy Apartments are now joined by a central entrance designed to increase security for the buildings. Residents who live in the apartments will be required to take home ownership classes and must agree to keep the buildings tobacco-free. The Kennedy Apartments are the first WHA property to ban smoking in the building. Earlier this summer, a federal judge ruled that certain gun restrictions imposed by the Wilmington Housing Authority are constitutional.
We then modified our policies to basically give ourselves the ability to manage firearms within our units and also to prohibit them in some of the common areas. As some of you know, we have community rooms in most of our high rises. We also have some daycare centers. We have a couple of doctor's offices who operate within our buildings. The NRA, on behalf of a WHA resident whose name is listed and a resident of the Parkview, which is a building we manage but do not own, brought a direct suit against just the Wilmington Housing Authority, and we therefore had to defend that in court. I'm pleased to say that, I guess last week, Judge Stark of Delaware District Court ruled in favor of the Housing Authority. There's a summary of the decision, a summary of the lease provision that we have fully implemented. This is precedent setting. I happen to have been at the National Housing Convention when this ruling came down, and there were several other housing authorities throughout the country that are waiting for this decision. It basically gives us the ability to provide a safer, more regulated firearm policy within our properties.
The ban prohibits residents from openly carrying firearms in common areas of public housing buildings, and it is part of the lease agreement with the renter. And also, it extends to visitors on the premises.
Because this is an amendment to our lease, it does put the onus on the head of household. So if you allow a visitor into your apartment who has a weapon, then yes, you are subject to eviction under the terms of this policy.
The Wilmington Housing Authority was forced to defend in court an outright ban on guns within its properties. The WHA amended the prohibition to include only the common areas of the buildings. According to Director Purnell, it cost the WHA nearly $500,000 in legal fees to defend the ban. Currently, National Rifle Association supported attorneys are challenging Judge Stark's decision. An appeal has been filed asking for a review of the ruling by the U.S. Third Circuit Court of Appeals. Wilmington has introduced a new program to strengthen and increase the number of minority-owned businesses in the city. The Minority Business Development Program will provide resources to help these businesses grow and overcome the obstacles commonly encountered in today's economy. Beginning with $300,000 from the city's Economic Development Strategic Fund, the Minority Business Development Program will be implemented in phases as funding becomes available. The plan, which was developed by the Mayor's Office and the Wilmington City Council, along with the city's Office of Economic Development, will be based on a 5-point strategy. 1. Creating business development zones using city census tracts. Using this information will create the highest probability of success in producing sustainable businesses. 2. Low-interest loans. $200,000 of funding is available immediately for the program. 3. Gap financing. $100,000 is currently available for new or existing minority-owned businesses that are unable to obtain financing through the private market. 4. Capacity building. The Office of Economic Development will provide technical and financial assistance to help businesses advance to appropriate levels of growth. And 5. A wealth development program which will develop a long-term strategy to increase wealth development and creation within the minority business community. Existing businesses or those who are interested in opening a business that serves the minority communities should contact the Wilmington Office of Economic Development for more information. The City of Wilmington will again be hosting the annual MegaBizFest conference for veterans, women, and minority-owned businesses. The one-day conference and forum brings together business leaders, corporations, governments, small businesses, and policymakers to explore strategies that will benefit all business owners. Attendees will be able to meet with lenders and buyers who can help businesses start and grow. This year's MegaBizFest will be held on Thursday, October 11th at the Doubletree Hotel on 8th and King Streets. For more information, call 576-2121 or visit online at megabizfest.com. Governor Jack Markell has signed into law a bill that encourages businesses to hire recent combat veterans. The Veterans Opportunity Tax Credit gives companies a $1,500 tax credit for each recent combat veteran hired. As of January 2012, the unemployment rate for returning veterans was at 9.1%, well above the national average of 8.3%, and 1 in 6 homeless people are military veterans. According to Governor Markell, the bill is limited, but it is a good start towards employing those who serve their country.
The bill can only go so far. What we really need is a partnership with businesses throughout our state and throughout our country who recognize not only the service that our veterans have provided, but also the unique skills that they've developed through their training and through their work. By working together with our businesses and our veterans, together and collectively, we can make sure that we keep Delaware moving forward.
The new tax credit continues for 3 years after hire, giving businesses up to $4,500 in credits for each combat veteran they employ. Governor Markell has also signed into legislation that limits the length of time dogs can be tethered. Senate Bill 211 makes it illegal to tie up the animal for 18 or more hours in any 24-hour period. Tethering very young dogs and certain nursing mother dogs is also banned under the law. Violators could be prosecuted on animal cruelty charges. In a statement released by the governor's office, Markell said, "It's not okay to leave dogs alone for extended periods of time. Most pet owners don't deliberately keep dogs tied up for long hours, but unfortunately there are situations where this occurs, and we want to prevent cruelty to animals." Wilmington's residents could win prizes for doing something they already do every day: recycle. In partnership with Recycle Bank, the city is in the middle of a sweepstakes that offers monthly prizes for simply setting your bins at the curb. Additional contest entries can be earned by redeeming reward points, recommending friends to join the program, or completing activities online at recyclebank.com. Each month, residents can win prizes, including DART transit cards, free groceries for a month, and Target gift cards. The grand prize is free groceries for a full year, a value of up to $5,000. The Wilmington and Recycle Bank sweepstakes runs through October 31st, and winners will be posted on the city's website. Currently, 25% of Wilmington's trash is recycled. Residents in the Browntown and Hedgeville neighborhoods have a new place to wash their clothes. With help of Mayor Baker and 6th District Councilman Kevin Kelly, Supersuds Laundromat has opened for business. Located at 900 South Franklin Street, across from Johnny's Market, the laundromat was built on a site that previously featured only billboards. Today, that lot is a community asset.
We were concerned with a large vacant lot, what would come here, but I think at the end of the day, it's a beautiful building. We're very proud. Small businesses create 2 out of every 3 jobs. I'm very appreciative of the fact that you have 3 young ladies that are working here or from the neighborhood. They're local people. They were able to get a job, be able to walk to work. Probably know a lot of people who come in and out of here, and I think that's key when you have a business, when you can have a relationship with the people in the neighborhood by people working here.
Supersuds was founded in Fredericksburg, Virginia in 1996 by Robert Schwartz. The new Wilmington location is the laundromat chain's 25th store.
We're excited to be here in Wilmington. We look at a lot of locations up and down the East Coast, and this came to us as one of our top areas for growth. The community, we believe, needs it. As you can see, we built a great facility. We're very proud of it. But we've also been proud of all the people we've worked with. Casale Construction has been great. The people in the city have been very supportive. And we really are about giving back to the community and making a really first-class facility. Our pricing, our technology, no more coin handling, how you can get in and out of these facilities in under an hour. The multitudes of equipment, the parking, the location, it's really something we're proud of, and we just want to thank everybody for your support.
Supersuds features state-of-the-art, environmentally friendly equipment, including high-speed washers and energy-efficient dryers. The laundromat is open from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m., 7 days a week. Delaware's first state-owned commuter rail cars were unveiled during a ceremony at the Joseph R. Biden train station in Wilmington. The 4 Silverliner 5 cars were assembled in Philadelphia and purchased from SEPTA using $7 million in American Recovery and Reinvestment Funds, better known as stimulus funds.
This is an opportunity for us to just reflect for a moment and celebrate what it is that we can do best as a country when we invest in infrastructure, when we invest in American jobs, when we invest in making our communities able to connect to each other in swifter, more reliable, more comfortable, and more reasonable and more affordable ways.
This today is really all about jobs. It's all about the Recovery Act that Senator Carper helped put together and pass in the Congress that made the federal funds available to make these cars. It's about the people who commute from here to Philadelphia and from here to Baltimore and Washington and other places that will use these SEPTA rail cars. It's about this employment center surrounding the train station that needs the commuter system to bring employees to and from these work sites.
The purchase of the 4 new cars, which offer larger cabins and wider seats, will allow SEPTA to offer more service between Wilmington, Newark, and Philadelphia.
There's an increasing number of Wilmingtonians who are commuting into Philadelphia and Philadelphians who are commuting down to work here in Wilmington. This is a cheaper, faster, and more efficient way to commute than taking cars. So, frankly, what I think we're celebrating here today is more closely weaving together the communities up and down this train line, an investment in American jobs, the folks who worked on final assembly and delivery of these train sets, and a better quality of life, a better environment, and a better commuting life for everybody who lives in the Wilmington area. What it means to Wilmington is that there's more access to markets and job opportunities up and down this rail line, that there's more folks who are coming to work here and more folks from here who are able to work elsewhere.
Each of the new Silverliner train cars has the ability to carry up to 109 people. Schedules for the new services can be found online at septa.org. The City of Wilmington was awarded $241,000 to help bolster their fight against crime. The Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistance Grant, known as JAG, is part of a federal grant program that provides states and local governments with the funding necessary to support a range of program areas, including law departments, courts, drug treatment, crime prevention, victims, and law enforcement. The money is part of a $1.6 million grant award and named after Edward Byrne, a New York City police officer killed while on duty in 1988. The city's grant will be used to fund new security equipment, as well as infrastructure upgrades and funding a cold case investigator position in the Wilmington Police Department. The remaining Delaware grant money was awarded to the cities of Middletown and Newark, Newcastle County, the Delaware State Police, and the Delaware Criminal Justice Council. Commenting on the funds, Senator Tom Carper said, All across the country, these JAG funds work to preserve and create public safety jobs and strengthen our existing forces. We will continue to fight for federal funding and projects that give Delaware communities the critical help they need. Justice Assistant Grant funding is the leading source of federal justice monies given to state and local jurisdictions. The Wilmington Police Department is now accepting applications for the 95th Police Academy. Interested applicants must be at least 21 years of age, a U.S. citizen, have a valid driver's license, a high school diploma or GED, and be of good moral character. Applications will not be accepted from persons with a felony or violent crime conviction. The authorized strength of the Wilmington Police Department is 320 officers. Currently, the force has 311 officers, with more vacancies expected. The Wilmington Police Academy is a 26-week course that begins in January of 2013. Applications can be obtained through the city's Department of Human Resources in the Lewis L. Redding City-County building. For the first time in the city's history, there is a female police inspector in the Wilmington Police Department. Nancy Dietz has been promoted to one of only 2 inspector positions in the department. Only Chief Michael Zerba outranks the inspector position. With 32 years in the force, Dietz was promoted from captain, where she was the commanding officer of the Division of Criminal Investigations. Her new job will oversee the department's investigative operations, professional standards, and human resources. The Wilmington Police Department also announced 3 other promotions. Clayton Smith has been promoted to captain, Steve Barnes has been promoted to lieutenant, and Christopher Vitale has been named a sergeant. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. Update News, selected Delaware's best newscast by the Delaware Press Association.